Hi you guys, and welcome back to Wallington Filming, Painting and Decorating Trade Secrets. And yes, today we're going to show you how to do a bit of wallpapering. Right, there's a bit more to my talents than house bashing, and I can do wallpapering. So I'm going to show you today how to wallpaper this wall. It's just a basic wall with some cuts on a shelf, plugs and a light switch. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to wallpaper this particular wall. Okay, and today what we're going to do is just use a normal paper like this, and there's no match in it. As you can see, it's just striped, so it's dead easy. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do that. Now this particular paper here is not a paper where you can just paste the wall and put the paper onto the wall. This particular paper has got to be pasted on the back. Okay, one thing I must stress is when you get your buy wallpaper, make sure all the batch numbers on the labels are the same. Okay, because otherwise you're going to have a problem. There'll be different shades, etc. And make sure you follow the instructions on the paper. It will tell you exactly what's needed to put this paper up. This one, like I say, it does tell you on the back here. Okay, just tell you that it needs to be pasted on the back of the paper. The arrow and the 0 means there's no match. Pattern number, which we sometimes call like batch number. Make sure all them are the same on every single roll. Right, so that's the paper we're going to put up. Make sure you read and check the labels on the paper. Right, so one of the first things I'm going to do is, as you can see with this particular wall, right, I've got hooks, I've got a bracket for a TV stand. Now all these have got to go back. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to unscrew these and put the screws back in the wall, so I know exactly where the brackets and the hooks go. Right, and this is a pre-emulsioned wall here that I've got a paper. So what I'm going to do is what's called sizing. That basically means I'm going to paste the whole wall, then I'm going to let it dry. Now the reason I do that is because when you paste the wall and let it dry, it seals the wall. Because what can happen is when you put your paper on that's been pasted, okay, when you start putting your paper on, if it's an emulsion wall, it can start sucking the paste off the paper and taking it into the emulsion if you're not pre-sized it, which can be a problem because you end up with like bubbles and patches on the paper that have not been that are not stuck down to the wall properly, due to the fact that the emulsion will suck the paste off the paper. Right, so that's that. It's just some basic bits of kit you're going to need, i.e. paste table. Make sure that's nice and clean. Okay, you're going to want some wallpaper paste. Now you can either use ready mixed, or for this job I'm going to use a Solvite, which I mix up myself. Right, some sort of straight edge for cutting the paper, paste brush, corking board. Now normally you would use most people would use a pasting brush to flatten the paper out. A lot of us in the trade tend to use these corking boards for leveling the paper out, and also for cutting the paper. Right, a plumb bob for getting a straight line, which is chalk, etc. inside there. I'm not actually going to use this. I'm going to use this spirit level. I prefer to use a spirit level to get a straight line for the first paper. Okay, some nice sharp scissors, pencil, and a sharp blade for cutting the paper. Right, now then, I'm actually not going to use this pasting brush because it takes a lot longer to use this pasting brush. What I tend to use is I get myself a scuttle, mix my paste in the scuttle, and I get a roller, and I'll roll the actual paper with the paste. Okay, so anyway, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take all these hooks off, leave the screws in, and I'm going to size this wall. So what I'll do, I'll just show you me sizing the wall in a minute. Right, as I said, what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to show you me sizing the wall. Right, so I'm going to basically just paste the wall, and when it's dry, it will seal up this emulsion wall. Right. One of the first things you need to do is just give the whole wall a bit of a light rub down, make sure there's no lumps on there. Okay, and I've already pre-done the centre of the wall, as you can see with this pencil line, so that this is where I'll start my papering either side of that. Right, and all I've done, I've just done that straight edge, that straight line with the spirit level like that. I prefer to do it like that, but a lot of people use the plumb bob, which gives you a chalk line. Okay, but I prefer to use a spirit level, so that's how I've got the centre of my wall. Right, so let me just show you quickly the size in the wall. Like so, just use a roller, any type of roller you've got. This is just a 15-inch roller I used to do the plots with. Right, just load it up with paste, and all you've got to do is literally just put a thin coat of paste on the wall that you're going to paper. Right, you don't have to cut the ceiling lines in with it. Just go as close as you can. With this particular type of roller, as you see, you know, that will take me right near the top. Okay. One thing I must stress out when you're papering a wall, ideally just switch off the power to your plugs and your lights. Alright, don't want you getting an electric shock. As you can see by using a roller, it is fairly quick to do this. So right then, so that's the wall all sized. Basically I've pasted the wall that's going to be papered. Okay, so all I've got to do now is leave that to dry, and I can start showing you how to go about papering this basic wall. Okay. Right, hi you guys, while I'm waiting for that size wall to dry off a bit, I'm just going to show you how I go about preparing the paper. Okay, so what I've done, I've measured the wall from top to bottom, and I need 101 inches, and that includes my trimming. Okay, so the board here is 72 inches long, so 101 minus 72 is 29 inches. So basically what I've done, I've put a mark on the pasteboard here where it comes to the 29 inches. Right, okay, so what I'm going to do is just going to show you me preparing the paper. Right, so like I say, I need this paper to be 101 inches. So what I'm going to do is get to the top of the board here, and I'm just going to put a little T here, which means top of the paper. Every time you cut a length of the paper, make sure you mark the top, okay, because you don't want to be putting them upside down, etc. Right, so what I'll do, I'll just put a mark there for the top, follow the paper down, Gonna follow the paper down, okay, to the end of the board. What I'm going to do is just put a little crease in there so I know where to take it. Go all the way back up the board here. Just put that little crease at the top of the board. Follow the paper down to my 29 inch mark there, okay, which is there. Get my straight edge, check I've got the mark, level that up there, grab the paper, rip the paper, get rid of that, okay, and just fold that back up. So that's the length of my paper which is needed for that wall. So I need 6 lengths, so this is my 6th one, okay? Back up. Right, so that's how I've basically done it. Right, measured my paper 101 inches long, and as you've seen, that's how I go about it. Okay, so I'm going to get these ready for putting on the wall now. Right then guys, I'm just going to show you how to paste the paper now. Dead easy process. Okay, right, as you can probably see, the paper is thinner than the actual pasteboard. Okay, so what I'll have to do is I'll paper paste the top section first, bring it down, and then paste this bottom piece here. If you do get paste on your board, okay, wipe it off with a sponge or something, keep that clean. Right, so I'm going to just show what I've done there. The top of the paper's there. Okay, that's the length of the paper. I'm just going to show you how I go about pasting that. Right, so like I say, just load your roller up with paste. A lot of people do this with a brush, but I find you get an uneven amount of paste on the paper, and it is a lot quicker using a roller. Right, so basically all I'm going to do is just paste that. It is easier if you can get a paper that allows you just to paste the wall instead of the paper, but this is how you go about it if you've got to paste. So what I'm going to do, see, bring that down to the edge, probably just take that slightly over the board, okay. Make sure you put enough paste on, don't be stingy with the paste. Like I say, good thing about using a roller is you get a nice even spread of paste over the paper. Right, and so I've pasted that section there, and because I'm going to put it on a wall, I'm going to fold it in half. Okay, so I'll just drag that down there, just get it lined up level like that. Try not to crease that that edge there, so just flatten it out like that. Okay, this particular paper wants about 4 minutes to soak, so not very long at all. Depending on how quick you are, if you just started papering, just do one length at a time. Okay, but if you're fairly quick at it, you can probably paste more than one at a time. Okay, and I'm gonna move that now. As you actually paste the paper, it starts to stop it from curling up at the edges. Okay. Right, so that's that, and I'll just fold that over there. Just fold that over there. Now, because I'm actually going to paste more than one. I'm going to paste a couple. I'm just going to fold it up like that, and I'll store that somewhere, okay? And I'll paste another one, right? And so I'll get back to you in a couple of seconds when I've pasted a few, and I'll show you paper in the wall. Right, and guys, let me show you how to do this paper, okay? So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to put these two lengths up either side of the centre line here, right? And like I say, I will be putting the paper on with this corking board and a knife for cutting it. So let me show you. So anyway, remember on the paper where your top is, which is there. This is my particular top. Okay. Hold your paper sort of like that. Right. Hold the top to the paper. Drop it. Okay. And go up to the line, which is about there. Like as I said before, there is hooks and a TV bracket here, and I'm actually coming across two screws here, right? So as I take it down the centre of the, take it on the straight edge there, the line, I have actually got to push the paper and break the paper on the screw, like that. Okay, there's another one here. Right, as you can see there. Right, so what I've got to use now, get the corking board and just lightly go over it. Like that. Pushing that top section in there, into the top ceiling line. Like so. Like I say, just do it lightly, don't try and force the paper or stretch the paper. When you get to the top edge up here, just use the edge of the corking board to strike your line there. Okay. Now I'm actually going to cut this top one before I carry on at the bottom to save me getting up and down. So I'll just put that on the I'll follow the line with my knife using the corking board to keep my line straight. There you go. There's the first bit there. Right. Come down. Okay. Follow the line down. Use the corking board, push it in, push it over the top of the paper into the top line of the skirting board. Okay. And then I'll use my knife to cut. So that's that. What I'm going to do is just wipe the bottom where the paste gets pushed out onto the skirting board. Right. I'm just going to give this a quick wipe over the top. One advantage of actually just wiping the paper is you will be able to feel if you've left any air bubbles in it, okay? Then you need a slightly damp sponge. I'll just go over the whole lot. Some people don't go over the whole lot, but I do, because I can feel if I've left any air bubbles in it. And then when you get to the top, there will be paste on the actual ceiling, so wipe that off. Turn your sponge round, just give it a quick wipe. Okay. Like I said, what I've done two pieces of paper, so I'm going to put the other one on as well. Okay, like I say, hold it at the top, drop the other half down. Line it up. Okay, and there is screws here, like I said before, so I've got to actually break the paper there. Screw there. Screw there. Make sure it's buttoned up. Cut that top section. Just slowly peel that back, get that edge. Just push the paper up very gently so it butts up to the other one. Okay. Right, for this example, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to show you actually cutting it with the scissors, okay? So we'll have a close-up of that. Fun. Press them in. So I'm just going to push that in with the top of with the corking board to get the line. Use a pencil, like that. I'm going to use, like I said, I'm going to use the scissors this time. And then just get your scissors, cut on the line all the way across. The problem with using the actual Stanley knife to cut it, sometimes by the time you get to the bottom of the paper, you know, it's starting to get a little bit wet, so it can get a bit difficult to cut it with a Stanley knife, depending on how thick the actual paper is. Okay, back up. And then, like I say, just give it a little bit of a, I like to give it a wipe all over. as I say, so I can feel whether I've left any air bubbles in it, and if I have, I can normally just push them out with a sponge. Okay. Just go around them areas where the fixings have got to go back on. I mean, this is a fairly cheap paper. I think it's about £6 a roll, but I think the most expensive paper I've put up is about £50 a roll, and that was a hand printed wallpaper. And believe it or not, even though it's £50 a roll, it gave me more problems on the joints than a cheaper paper. So as you can see, starting to come on now. Okay, so we'll carry on with the rest of the walls. As you can see, we're now on the last section, and this one involves going around a light switch. Okay, so like I say, make sure your power's switched off to your light fittings or your plugs, whatever. Not really need to see that, but I've just got a little bit of a cut there to do. Okay. Right, as you can see, I've got a light fitting here. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to bring that paper and just tap it down on the top of there. Okay. Just going to cut from the edge of the light switch to the end there, make an incision there. Okay. And what I'm going to do is just cut straight down. There is a few different ways of doing this. Find the edge of the paper there, edge of the light fitting there, just make a diagonal cut there. Same again. A bit more there. Okay. Right, so as you can see, I've now got it around that. Pause it. Still using the corking board to cut round with a knife as well. Just go under there. When it comes to light switches, you just got to take your time and use a bit of judgment, especially if you can't take the face of the light fitting off. There you go, that's all cut round nice and neat. And like so, because it's now hitting the side of the door frame where the architrave is, I've got to continue using the corking board and the knife. With a sharp blade, just follow the corking board as far down. You You do have to be a bit careful, because once the paper starts soaking, even if you've got a sharp blade, it can start to rip the paper. So if you want to avoid ripping the paper, do a line down with a pencil and just use your scissors. Okay, so that section there, just around the top. Just get a sponge back. And that's roughly how you wallpaper, just a basic wall with a few cuts in it, plugs, etc. I mean, some people do it slightly different to me, obviously, but you know, each man to his own when it comes to doing his own thing. Okay, so that's how you wallpaper a basic wall. Okay, so anyway, thanks for that. Right then guys, as you can see, finished product, not that hard. Just follow all the instructions on the rolls of paper and guidelines on how to get your straight line, etc. Okay, so anyway, thanks to all my subscribers. Don't forget to subscribe yourself, thumbs up and comments most welcome. Until next time, catch you later.